Executing the search warrant, police had found the so-called screamers that Senna was talking about.
Oh.
That's so warm.
Did you videotape it?
Yeah, we do.
There's a little thing that comes off so they won't leave, but they know when they leave?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Horrible, man. That's not right for children. Or any person for that matter.
The police found more chains and screamers beside every bed in the room. Back with Senna, the chains weren't the only thing police planned to confront her about.
Yeah, there's an AC on this side.
This small structure would become very important to the case soon enough.
Say police.
Those who tried to report this terrible mistreatment of the children in living conditions met with the short end of the stick. In an exclusive interview with Iwu, Matthew shared more about his frustration with law enforcement after he alleged that they told Cushman he was the one who reported her.
So I got to go talk to Doug Bowman, city cop. And I go over and I'm like, what is this? Well, you got a restraining order against you from Jamie Cushman and them. Blah, 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 says you harassed them, whatever. And I was like, Doug, the kids are getting chained to a bed. I said, your cop messed up. No, their story checks out.
What Matthew didn't know is that the chains were only one aspect of what was going on. The officer in question also asked Matthew to provide photo or video proof of his accusations, which just wasn't feasible thanks to the iron grip Cushman kept on everyone in the house.
If I was taking pictures of Flash at night, she would have lit me up and it'd been over with, and she'd have a way to cover it up. Doug, I said, is this going to be the one time that the kids slipped through the cracks? He said, well, I guess so.
Matthew was no longer welcome on Cushman's property after the police allegedly told her about his involvement.
And then the cops in Clovis wouldn't believe me. I said, they treated me like I was a criminal. Like I did something. They actually threatened me with having a false report on somebody.
Sadly, this was only one example of the frustrating experiences witnesses had with local law enforcement. In an exclusive interview with Iwu, Alicia Brand, a former friend, roommate, and partner of Cushman, shared more on the subject.
I made, between CPS and the Texaco police, it had to be like 75 calls. It had to. I did it anonymously for a while until I didn't care anymore. Hi, I'm calling again. Hi, I'm calling again. And maybe I'd get a different person on the line and they'd be like, no, I'm going to put good notes in this. Like the notes from last time don't really look like that. And I'd be like, what do you mean? And I'd tell them from the beginning and then I'd tell them currently and I'd tell them, and I'd spend hours on the line over and over and over trying to get someone else out there. I'd be like, please don't send the local sheriff. Please don't send, the same people that have been going out there. You need someone bigger.
The state police were determined to handle things differently. They tracked down Sheriff Doug Bowman and brought him in for an interview of his own.
Over the course of my career over here, 14 years, I've been over there, I can't tell you exactly how many times, but it's been a handful of times that I've been over there with CYFD. Mm-hmm. I found it unusual that every time we went, the accusations that were made, there was no evidence or foundation to believe what they were doing was wrong. Was the house dirty and not the best that it could be? Yeah. But I've been in a lot of houses like that in my career that doesn't justify taking kids out of there.
I literally took the chains off the wall. Mm-hmm. We have chains and evidence on every single wall where the bed's at.
Kenny, I don't doubt you guys.
You never saw a chain hung up next to the bed and the kids?
No, sir.
Time at all?
There was never a chain.
Back in the interrogation room, Senna was growing more and more distressed.
Tell me about the dungeon outside.
What dungeon?
The storage shit outside the house.
The one in the front yard right there?
In the back. In the back.
In the back there?
Yes, with the snake and the cats. What's that used for?
Police first learned about the dungeon when they asked about Cushman's uncle James, who sometimes lived on the back part of the property. Why he built it and what he utilized it for remains unknown. Police were pretty sure that they found the dungeon in question while carrying out the search warrant on the property.
Something's in there, huh? There's an air conditioner in here?
Do you think that's like what they say the dungeon is?
No, you're probably right.
That's what I'm thinking, because there's an...
There's an air conditioner.
Yeah. Were your baton fit?
Got it? Yeah, I don't want to bang my baton.
There you go.
I got cats, bro. Oh, there's a bed, bro. There's a dungeon, bro. Hold on, let me photograph it. Still hot?
Yeah.
Like,
Is that a freaking arrow? There's a toilet in here? Got a SIM card?
SIM card?
Is there a camera?
In addition to a crossbow, camera, chains, and an abundance of cats, the investigators also found another critical piece of evidence that would be significant later. Senna, however, had a different explanation for the shed dungeon altogether.
Andy and Rob stay there.
Who?
Andy and Rob stay there.
Who's Andy and Rob? The two people with the baby? Where's the baby now?
They're in Oklahoma, as far as I know. The baby got taken away.
Did you ever put the kids in there?
No. The kid's never gone in there. I know that 100%.
Police needed to find out how much Jamie Senna was aware of what was happening to the children, and what her exact role was in the cycle of mistreatment that so clearly pervaded Cushman's inner circle. They clearly suspected that she wasn't telling them the whole truth, though the reason why was more complex than they could have predicted.
Whose idea was it to do that? When you
When
moved in, was it already happening?
It was already there.
So you had no way in installing those chains? Or did you ever tie them to their ankles? Did you personally tie them?
Once, I think.
To who?
To-
You tied it once?
But I never did it tight or nothing. I was so scared.
Would you chain your like that? No, for discipline.
No.
You would never do that?
Obviously, police had to question this, especially after what they'd heard from witnesses. Alicia admitted that Cushman tried to pressure her to discipline the children when she first moved in.
In the beginning, I just noticed that there were excessive whoopings. These kids would be spanked, dragged to where they were being spanked, picked up by the ear and moved and being spanked. There was one time where she was like, if they're not where they're supposed to be, I grab them by the ear and I move them. I expect you to do that. So I didn't. One day I told her what happened. So she hit me. She punched me in the chest. She said I should never undermine her parenting, that she can discipline her children how she wishes.
Jamie McDaniel had a similarly bleak history with Cushman, which began when she was only 15.